something magical about a single spritz of perfume. The scent that turns heads, sparks memories, and lingers long after you've left the room. Every year, the world spends billions chasing that perfect fragrance. From flower fields basking in the French sun to massive stainless steel tanks blending secret formulas. This is where nature meets chemistry. Perfume isn't just a modern invention. In fact, it's one of humanity's oldest luxuries. Egyptians. Over 3,000 years ago, they burned scented resins in temples to communicate with the gods. Cleopatra herself was said to bathe in rose water. Greeks and Romans. They loved perfumed oils so much that Roman citizens used them daily after bathing. One Roman writer even joked that a person without perfume was not truly clean. Middle Ages. Perfumes weren't just about smelling good. They were believed to protect against disease, especially during plagues. By the 18th century, perfume had shifted from medicine to fashion, becoming a must-have accessory for Europe's aristocrats. And eventually, France, especially the little town of Grasse, became the beating heart of perfume culture. Even today, whenever brands like Dior, Guerlain, or Chanel launch a new fragrance, their creative teams often start right in Grasse. Nestled in the rolling hills of southern France, Grasse is known as the perfume capital of the world. Its unique climate, sunny days, cool nights, and fertile soil makes it perfect for growing flowers like lavender, roses, jasmine, tuberose, etc. This town has cultivated flowers for perfume since the 1700s. What's amazing is that many families in Grasse have been in the perfume trade for generations, passing down their expertise like a secret recipe. And while perfume has become a global industry, Grasse still produces some of the most valuable raw ingredients used in luxury fragrances today. Before perfume ever reaches a lab or a factory, it begins under the open sky, in fields of flowers. And believe it or not, how these plants are grown and harvested has as much impact on your fragrance as what happens later in production. Lavender. In the rolling hills of Provence, endless rows of lavender ripple like a purple ocean. But here's the thing. Lavender doesn't give up its secrets easily. It takes almost 5 years for a single plant to fully mature. And once it does, it can keep producing high-quality oil for up to 7 years straight. Timing is everything. Farmers cut lavender early in the morning when oil levels are at their strongest. Specialized harvesting machines glide slowly through the rows. They gently lift the bushes upright, trim each stem to about 6 inches, and send them onto conveyor belts that drop the harvest into waiting trailers. If you cut too early, the oil isn't ready. Too late, and the scent fades. Done correctly, cutting actually strengthens the plant, ensuring it grows back even better the next season. That's why a single lavender plant can fuel harvest after harvest. Roses. If lavender is the workhorse of perfumery, roses are the crown jewel. But harvesting them is a completely different story. They're far too delicate for machines. Every single bloom is picked by hand. At dawn, workers step into the fields, one by one. They pluck blossoms carefully before the sun gets too hot. By mid-morning, the petals begin to lose their strength. The window is short, just a few precious hours each day. Over just a few weeks, hundreds of tons of petals are gathered. Yet all of that effort produces only a tiny reward. Roughly 5,000 pounds of petals for just a single pound of rose oil. That's why rose oil is among the most valuable ingredients in the perfume world. And then, There's jasmine, tiny, white, delicate flowers. Picked only at dawn, each blossom weighs less than a paperclip, yet it carries one of the richest scents in nature. Workers hand-pick them quickly, placing thousands into baskets. But here's the catch. By afternoon, the fragrance has already begun to fade. That's why jasmine harvests are rushed immediately into processing. And to create just 1 pound of jasmine oil, you'd need almost 4 million flowers. No wonder perfumes with true jasmine inside are considered pure luxury. So, before perfume even touches a laboratory, farmers have already done an incredible amount of work. From machines sweeping through lavender fields, to delicate hands plucking roses and jasmine, every harvest is a race against time, a race to capture nature's fragrance at its absolute peak. Once the flowers are harvested, the clock starts ticking, because every minute counts. The longer the wait, the weaker the scent. So, baskets of blooms are rushed straight to the distilleries where the real magic begins. And it all begins with lavender, the calm, purple soul of perfumery. Inside a rustic farmhouse in Provence, workers move quickly, guiding heaps of fresh lavender into towering metal stills. Massive cylinders that can hold hundreds of pounds of blooms, ready for transformation. Steam rises from below, passing gently through the plant material. The heat opens the tiny oil glands hidden inside each lavender bud, releasing its aromatic vapor. As the steam travels upward, it carries the scent with it. Then, the vapor is cooled and condensed back into liquid. Separating into 2 layers, water and essential oil. The water becomes lavender hydrosol, often used in skincare. But the precious top layer, the pure lavender essential oil, is collected drop by drop. It takes about 150 pounds of lavender to produce just 1 pound of oil. The result, a clean, herbal, calming fragrance. The kind you find in timeless perfumes, soothing soaps, and luxury aromatherapy oils. Next comes the rose, often called the queen of flowers, and for good reason. Unlike lavender, roses don't release their fragrance easily through steam alone. They're far too delicate. High heat would destroy their natural perfume. So instead, rose petals go through a method called solvent extraction, or sometimes steam distillation at low pressure. In solvent extraction, the petals are mixed with a gentle, food-grade solvent that dissolves their oils without damaging them. After several rounds, what's left is a thick, waxy substance called concrete. It smells divine. That concrete is then washed with alcohol to draw out the pure rose absolute, the heart of true rose-scented perfumes. Just imagine it. Tons of petals distilled into a small vial of deep, honey-colored oil. So powerful that a single drop can scent an entire room. And finally, jasmine, the most temperamental of them all. Jasmine blossoms can't handle heat, not even a little. So they're processed using a traditional technique called enfleurage, one of the oldest methods in perfumery. Here's how it works. Fresh jasmine petals are carefully laid over trays coated with purified fat. The fat gently absorbs their fragrance over several hours. Then, the spent petals are replaced with new ones, again and again, until the fat is saturated with scent. Finally, the perfumed fat is washed with alcohol, leaving behind the pure jasmine absolute. Soft, sensual, and incredibly rich. It's slow, it's expensive, but it captures jasmine's soul like no other method can. Once the oils are extracted, their journey is far from over. Raw fragrance oil might smell powerful, but not perfect. It needs time to settle, mature, and balance. Inside cool, dimly lit storage rooms, rows of stainless steel and glass vats hold freshly extracted oils. They'll rest here for weeks, sometimes months, even years. During this quiet phase, the oils slowly lose their sharp edges, deepening in color and aroma. It's like letting fine wine breathe, or aging whiskey in oak barrels. Every passing day brings more harmony, more depth, more character. And when the oils are ready, the artistry begins. This is where science meets imagination. Inside sterile laboratories, master perfumers, often called noses, begin their craft. Their workstations look like a symphony of tiny glass bottles, each holding a unique note of nature. Every perfume is built like a song, with three main layers called the fragrance pyramid. Top notes, bright and fleeting. The first impression when you spray a perfume. Think lemon, mint, or bergamot. Light, airy, gone in minutes. Heart notes, warm and full-bodied. These are the main melody. Jasmine, rose, cinnamon, or lavender. And finally, base notes, deep and grounding. Woods, amber, musk, and vanilla. The parts that linger for hours. A master perfumer might spend months, even years, perfecting this pyramid. Adding a drop here, removing one there. Too much citrus, and it overpowers the heart. Too little musk, and the base collapses. Precision is everything. And the human nose, it's a tool more powerful than any computer. It can distinguish over 1 trillion different scent combinations, making perfumers living instruments of perfection. Once the ideal balance is achieved, the formula is locked. It's then carefully recorded, measured, and stored. A closely guarded secret, often known to only a handful of people in the company. These blends are then mixed with alcohol and pure water, allowing the fragrance to open up and breathe. The solution is chilled, filtered, and left again to rest until the perfume reaches crystal clarity. Once the perfect blend is achieved, the perfume finally moves to its last chapter, bottling the luxury. What was once a field of flowers is now a masterpiece in liquid form, waiting to be sealed inside glass. Inside the bottling plant, everything runs with clockwork precision. Huge stainless steel tanks hold the finished fragrance, which is now crystal clear, a perfect balance of oil, alcohol, and water. Pipes gently feed it toward automated filling lines, where every drop is handled with surgical care. Glass bottles glide along conveyor belts, perfectly aligned, waiting for their turn. Each bottle passes under ultra-precise nozzles that release exactly the right amount of perfume. Not a drop more, not a drop less. High-speed cameras check every bottle for clarity, level, and fill accuracy. If even one doesn't meet the mark, it's automatically removed. Meanwhile, in the glass-making section, the process is nothing short of mesmerizing. Molten glass, glowing at nearly 2,900 degrees Fahrenheit, drips into molds shaped by designers and engineers. Air is blown in to form elegant curves and sharp edges, each bottle a sculpture of its own. Once cooled, they're polished, inspected, and sometimes coated with metallic finishes or gradients that shimmer under light. Luxury brands often go a step further, adding gold-plated caps, engraved logos, or custom-shaped atomizers that deliver a perfect mist with every spray. And finally, rows of finished bottles are packed into crates, labeled, and sent across the world. From raw glass to finished fragrance, every bottle is proof that luxury doesn't happen by chance. It's engineered, crafted, and perfected. From fields of flowers to bottles of luxury, every drop of perfume is a story of art and precision. Next time you spray your favorite scent, remember, you're wearing the work of 1,000 hands and the soul of 1,000,000 blossoms. If you enjoyed this journey inside the factory, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment